Get a good look at it. Get an extremely good, long look at it. Let me sit down. Let me chill out. Let me sit down. Let's sit down. Let's sit down and talk about what exactly just happened. After 20 years, 20 insanely long years, I can't even talk right now. I can't even speak right because I'm in awe. I'm speechless, really, but I'm talking, so technically I'm not. But to put it simply, I don't even know what to say. The largest second half comeback in Game 7 history. We were talking about this 2 videos ago, or 1 video ago rather. What were the Wolves' keys to victory? And if you notice, I posted nothing before this game, and that's because the keys to victory were exactly the same. We carried those out in Game 6. Game 7, I was sitting right there on my bed. No, you can't see it. My bed is here. There's your proof. That is a bed, a mattress on a bed frame. I was sitting right there, just thinking. Kind of the same way I was thinking when the Vikings were down, whatever it was, 33-0 to the Colts. This is a completely different situation, obviously. For one, it's basketball, duh. Second of all, it's Game 7. Winner goes to the Western Conference Finals. The word finals in Minnesota sports does not go together. Sure, that's a phrase and a word, but you are getting what I'm putting down. Those two things don't go together. Not recently, at least. So for this to happen, it almost feels like it's not real. I don't know how to accept it yet. I'm excited, I can tell you that. As soon as the game was over, I went out in the driveway and took a lap just to get it out. I mean, I've never been so locked in to a basketball game. Forget basketball game, sports game. I've never been so locked into a TV. When that second half started, I was absolutely locked in, and it started off bad. It did. Everyone saw it. We saw it. The world saw it. Social media saw it. Twitter was on our head. It was looking bad. The reason this is so surprising to me and why I'm so shocked, not because I didn't think they could do it, because I knew they could do it. I called them in 7. Maybe not publicly, but I did. Okay, just take my word for it, please. I did. But it's the fact that all of these games have had this similar pattern where one team would be up 20 points and that would just be the end of it. It was like once somebody got up, maybe even just double digits, 10 points, game's over. And whoever is going on a run just continues to go on run after run after run. And for some reason, this game was completely different. The shadow is really making me mad. Let me move that out of the way. It was completely different. It felt like I was watching a documentary. Like, I really hope Netflix, for some reason, like, I know they're doing the football stuff right now. I really hope for some reason they thought, we should do an NBA one as well. What are the chances they pick the Timberwolves? Maybe there's a high chance. Kendrick Perkins probably told them to. First of all, shout out to Kendrick Perkins, dude. Because as soon as Perk started hopping on our bandwagon, everyone was like, cursed. You're cursed. Sorry, guys. It's over. And he called it. He called it. The crew on whatever network it is, ABC, TNT, whatever it is. There's so many of them. Not really, but you know what I mean. I think they asked the question along the lines of, did the Wolves blow the series or did the Nuggets just overcome it or whatever, something along the lines. And they start the discussion and Kendrick Perkins just cuts him off like, hold on. The Wolves didn't blow this series. There's a reason it's a series. There's 7 games. And he said it. He said the Wolves are going to come back, win Game 6, face an elimination, which they did. 45 points, by the way. Wow. I'll tell you what, there was actually a small part of me, obviously I would have loved for us to blow them out, but there was a small part of me that was like, make it close. Make it close and let us beat them. Like, in the last 5 minutes just to piss them off. Because I feel like we deserve that. Not only do we deserve the win, but we deserve to get it in a way like that. A comeback. When everybody's looking down on us like they've done for the last 20 years in Minnesota sports. Everyone looks down on Minnesota sports. And the Timberwolves finally are gaining steam. I'll tell you what, I went out the other night. Every single one of my friends that I saw came up to me, and they're rooting for the Wolves. I've never felt that in my life. I'm not even trying to get, on some sad stuff right now. That's just real. Everyone has clowned the Minnesota teams that I root for. Go to school the next day. Damn, bro, the Vikings suck. Especially the year we could have gone to the Super Bowl, the Case Keenum year, Minneapolis Miracle year. There was this one dude who was an Eagles fan, and he was just talking. And I was so confident, for whatever reason, I was so confident. Maybe because their quarterback was Carson Wentz or whatever, Nick Foles or whoever the hell. And it was laughable to me. But either way, you get what I'm about to say. We don't have to talk about it anymore. We're going to make another video. I just wanted to come on here and just give a raw speech rant about this game because it was one of the greatest games I've ever watched in my life. Forget it being my team, which just made it so much more special, but I hope everybody was watching this game. I hope every NBA fan was watching this game. Shout out to Mike Conley. Shout out to Jaden McDaniels. Are you kidding me? Somebody who I thought just maybe didn't have the offensive fire that he once did or has shown flashes of, just comes back in Game 6 and Game 7 and just balls out. And it's not even on the offensive end. It's not just scoring points. It's about getting open shots, perfect spacing, hitting the shots when we need him to, not necessarily being clutch, but just being reliable. And the defense is there every game. It just seems like Jaden is just so immersed in the game, and he's not thinking about anything else but winning. Forget that. Scratch that. He's not even thinking about the end of the game. He's just thinking about now, and he's just so focused. And I just want to say shout out to him, man, because I appreciate him. And I hope he's a Wolf for a very, very long time. And Mike Conley, man. Like I said, there hasn't been a lot of Minnesota Timberwolves things to root for in the past 20 years. So it's kind of unfair to just say Mike Conley is one of the greatest Wolves of all time, but he is. And if you don't think he is, well, guess what? He's one of my favorite of all time. Easily top 3. Just came onto this team. He's such a key piece to the squad. And at one point, D'Lo was one of my favorite players. But it just felt like, even when we traded, or even before we traded him, and, obviously it was like, it sucks because I don't want to see him go, but it feels like we could be better suited. And when Mike Conley came in, I'm not going to lie, I had questions, and he just proved me completely wrong, and I'm sure he proved a lot of people wrong. And I just want to tell him thank you because he's just given me some of the greatest Timberwolves moments I've ever been able to witness. And the fact that we're here right now, he is such a big part of that. So shout out to Mike Conley, and shout out to Anthony Edwards, who was having a rough game basically the entire duration of the game. And he didn't give up. When a good play would happen, when he was able to get the ball out to the wings, even when he was scoring a little bit in the fourth quarter, he was just so amped, and it got me fired up. So shout out to Ant, and shout out to Cat, man. They tried to screw Rudy over with all those stupid calls, those ridiculous calls, man. And we're going to break all that down in another video, probably tomorrow, but it just felt like the NBA and the referees were starting to turn on us towards the end of the game, and somehow we came out and still won, and we just played perfect basketball, and I'm just amazed. That's all I wanted to say. Thank you if you watched the whole time. And go Wolves. Wolves back. Peace.